Hey everybody, welcome back. So today I've got a video ready that I had originally planned to do a couple of weeks ago when I had all the technical difficulties and I wasn't able to upload anything. I found this in my saved files and decided, okay, let's redo this video, upload it, because it is something worth talking about, I think. It's about a man from North Carolina who was arrested for apparently threatening to kill Joe Biden. And normally I wouldn't have a problem with that. You threaten to kill someone, you get arrested for it. That's fine, I'm cool with that. That's how it should be. But the problem I have with this is, over the past, I guess this whole year so far, 2021, the latest buzzword is, incitement to violence, right? That was the entire purpose of the second Trump impeachment. Remember? Incitement to violence. That was what they claimed that Donald Trump had done. So keep that in mind as we go through this article, because I think that's the key point: incitement. Sit back, relax, and enjoy. So here we are at the News and Observer article titled "I'm Going to Come Kill the President." North Carolina man charged with threatening Biden. All right, talk. Fine. Let's see what he has to say. A Gaston County man with a long history of violence is charged with threatening to kill former Vice President Joe Biden. According to newly unsealed documents in the case, David Kyle Reeves, 27, of Gastonia, made a series of angry and erratic phone calls to the White House switchboard between January 28th and February 1st, in which he threatened to kill the president and other federal officials. I'm sure he's not the first. He repeated the threats in phone conversations with the Secret Service in which he dared agents to try and stop him, documents show. Quote, "I'm going to come kill the president. I'm going to kill the Secret Service because I own this whole planet." End quote. Reeves said in a phone call to Secret Service Special Agent, according to an affidavit. Oh man, so the guy thought he was Thanos? Was he high? Is he on drugs? Is he a Looney Tune? Like, what the heck? I mean, he looks kind of like a goober. I mean, no offense, David Kyle Reeves, but you do look kind of like a goober. All right. Blah, 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 blah. That's just silliness. So, in one of the calls, according to the affidavit, Reeves appeared to threaten to kill members of Congress. Well, I mean, hey, once again, I'm sure he's not the only one. In another, he told the Secret Service to come pick him up and take him to the White House so he can punch the president in the face, sit in his chair, and stay there until he dies. Well, I mean, hey, if that's all he's going to do, I mean, worse things have been done in the name of politics. I mean, have you read up on communism lately? I mean, if that's the worst that happens, you just punch somebody in the face. It's a politician, fine. Worse things happen in Japanese and Korean parliament, in case you didn't know. They have full-on fist fights. Oh, man. So the rest of this is just all about him going to prison. He faces 5 years in prison, $250,000 fine, blah, 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 blah. So here's the fun part. Another person, a second area suspect accused of Biden threats. North Carolina. What's going on in North Carolina? So prior to his arrest, according to the affidavit, Reeves was living in Gastonia with his father. He becomes the second Charlotte area defendant tied to threats on Biden's life. In October, federal court documents allege that Alexander Treisman, a heavily armed wanderer traveling the country in a van, had mused online of killing Biden. Quote, "I was going to do a Columbine for a while. Now, I think it would be better to put it towards something more memorable." End quote. Later, federal investigators found another online post in which Treisman asked, "Should I kill Joe Biden?" According to federal documents, less than 2 weeks before the November 3rd presidential election, investigators found evidence on Treisman's computers and phone that was consistent with a surveillance and attack plan connected to a possible threat against Joe Biden or other targeted act of violence. Okay. You know, I'm sure it's not the worst thing that's happened in D.C. I'm sure he's not the only person that has had these thoughts. Now, here's where I have a problem with all of this. Like I said earlier, normally I wouldn't have an issue, and I really don't have an issue with these two people being arrested. They made threats to kill someone. I don't care who it is. You make threats to kill someone, you probably should just be arrested. Simple as that. That's how life in a normal, regular, functioning society should work. Doesn't matter if you threaten a politician, celebrity, regular everyday citizen, Joe shit the ragman, doesn't matter. You threaten to kill someone, you go to jail. Great. Cool. I like it. That's fine. What I have a problem with is what seems to be a bit of a double standard. Now, if you'll remember, earlier in this video, I mentioned the entire idea of incitement to violence, right? That's what we've been hearing from all the left-wing media outlets, all the pundits, incitement to violence, incitement to violence. Okay, so let's think back over the past, 4, 5 years? How many people with more clout, privilege, and money than these two fellas have made insinuations on the life of a president? If you'll remember, I believe it was what's her name? Cathy Griffith, whatever that dumb bitch's name is, who had the photo shoot holding up the severed head of Donald Trump. Then there was that bitch Madonna, who made statements like, "Oh, I thought about blowing up the White House," right? I mean, even if she means it as, "Oh, well, I didn't want to kill anybody. I just wanted to blow up the building when no one was inside." Well, it's still destruction of federal property. That's, I believe, roughly at a 5 to 10 year federal prison sentence. So, okay, cool story, bro. And if I remember correctly, wasn't it Snoop Dogg that had a video a few years ago in which he shoots the head of like a cartoonish clown caricature of President Trump? Could these three acts, and they're not the only three, there's just the ones that popped up off the top of my head when I was getting ready to make this video, but could these three incidents not also be considered incitement to violence, incitement to convince others to take the life of a president?
Yes, I have thought an awful lot about blowing up the White House.
Why are they not in a federal prison? You know, somewhere like Leavenworth out in Kansas, right? I hear that's a fun place to be locked up. So my problem is this double standard, this rules for thee but not for me situation that seems to have become rampant in the U.S. It seems to be the what I guess you could say the soup du jour, right? It's just what we're stuck with. It's what we're living with every day. You get this kind of crap where we, the regular people, have to go by certain rules that those in power, those in privilege, don't have to live by. Different standards. That's what chaps my ass. But hey, these guys got arrested. They did something stupid. Great. Go to jail. But I think the same thing could be said for certain celebrities, whether they be actors, singers, quote unquote comedians, doesn't matter. Those numerous people who have made threats of violence or killing. Wait a minute. Whoa. I just remembered, didn't Joe Biden just like a year ago say something about, I would take President Trump back behind the woodshed and whip his ass, or some garbage like that, wasn't it? I can't remember. I swear I think it was Biden. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I swear I think it was Biden that said something stupid like he was going to take Trump behind the woodshed or behind the bleachers and whip his ass. It was something like that. I mean, that's threatening violence towards the president. Why wasn't Biden right there on the spot? Secret Service, FBI investigation. Bam, done. Do it. Never happened. Rules for thee, not for me. Anyways, folks, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, go ahead, hit that like button, share it with your friends and family, let them know what's going on. If you don't mind, subscribe to the channel, keep in touch. That way you'll know whenever there's any new content. I try to upload new content every day, at least 6 times a week, in case I'm feeling lazy on the weekend. Thanks for watching. Until next time, I remain the Neo-Bohemian.